What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy, New York. We are back at my house today, and today we are here with Lost Becomes. Thank you, Will and Alec, for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here. The first 4 singles that you released are just so much fun to listen to. Excellent work. I had the honor of doing the album artwork for most of them. And could these singles, such as Moments and Memories and Focus, is this a good representation of the direction that Lost Becomes is going to go into for maybe a full-length album or in the future?
We have a couple more songs that are like totally different than everything that's out right now.
It's been like an evolving process. Like I don't know. I think it was Promises was like the first full song we wrote. I think it was Promises, right?
And Memory.
Yeah, Memory. Those were like the 2 that we wrote at first, and like outside of that we didn't release songs in the order that they were written, but like the later songs on this record, the one that we're gonna eventually be putting out, is like they're sort of the ones that are kind of evolving from the original blueprint of what was like Promises and Memory. And the newer stuff we're writing, because we basically have like an entire second record pretty much done at this point.
Wow.
And it's just been sort of like a weird evolution of like all of like kind of like the stereotypical New York like bands that we kind of were in growing up, and melding that with sort of our different influences as we've kind of gotten older. It's been really interesting.
Well, with the formation of Lost Becomes, because I remember, hearing about, when Brian was telling me, I'm forming this new band. So was there like an idea of what you wanted Lost Becomes to originally sound like, or was there a lot of experimentation and trial and error? Why is that a funny question?
Because it was really awful in the beginning.
Every band is, though.
And Alec were writing just like rock and roll, but like dad rock and roll riffs, and it was like, it was just bad, and I was gonna quit. The 3rd rehearsal, I was like, man, I was tired. I came out of work. I was on the train, lugging my bass, and I'm like, fuck these guys. And then I showed them. What was that? I showed them a track of something that I was listening to on the way, and I was like, listen, guys, we gotta stop doing this. Let's go heavier. Let's play something uglier. And I kept telling Brian, make it ugly. Make it ugly. And then eventually we started writing the songs that we have now. When
I kind of knew Brian with like, and I mean this with love, I kind of knew Brian as like that metal dude, right? Who liked like Judas Priest, So like,
yeah, but Judas Priest is good.
Yeah, for sure. But when he asked me,
playing in the beginning was
when he asked me to be in a band with him, I just kind of assumed we were gonna like play like that type of music, like dad rocky type of stuff, based on because of what Brian's old band sounds like and like other stuff. So like when we like got into the hardcore vibe, like I remember I showed you guys Incendiary. And you were showing us, I don't think it was End, but it was a band like that.
A band from Philly.
Yeah. Like, I forget the name. But like, it was like, we started listening to a bunch of hardcore stuff, and it was like, we could just be like a hardcore band. And it, like, immediately, right after we like made that decision, like everything kind of just clicked. Like, it was like, oh, this is way better than everything that we've done so far.
Well, I think Lost Becomes has, like, what makes you guys unique is, like, it has a very atmospheric vibe to, like, hardcore. I feel like that there's a lot of elements to get lost in, and I see different eras of it. I do see like modern day, like Code Orange or Incendiary influences in it, but then I also see like a lot of early post-hardcore, like maybe At the Drive-In or Quicksand or Glassjaw as that as well. That's my interpretation of it.
No, it is. It really is like it really is just like an amalgamation of all of our influences growing up. Like, the one thing that the pandemic, like we were talking a bit earlier before the camera turned on, but like the one thing the pandemic did for me is it allowed me space to listen to way more music than I ever probably would have living the life that I was before. And it really opened up a lot of doors for me, like musically, to like try new ideas. And a lot of that stuff I think kind of came, I mean, these Lost Becomes records were written before that, but it was sort of like the beginning of that journey for me. Was like, oh, I'm listening to all these new records, and like, oh, I get this idea, like, oh, this part would be cool. Let's see if we can manipulate some riffs here and like talk, like, just like that's sort of the way that it always just came to me. And Lost Becomes has been a really good outlet for me for that. And Will was like insane, dude. So like we come in or we have a riff and he's like, yeah, that's cool, but like let's do this, and it's like it works out. We work really well together, which is nice too. So it's been a lot of fun to write music.
Yeah, well, and I do consider like structurally the music to be relatively experimental, so there's maybe like a lot more room for further exploration in the future, right?
Yeah, when these next songs come out, you'll definitely hear something different that you haven't heard.
Some gentle ballads.
Maybe.
I think that we try to avoid, and like there was something that Dillinger said a long time ago. Ben, I think from Dillinger said this. I remember hearing it in an interview like a long time ago. It was like, if you're authentic with your fan base about the music that you want to write, then they're gonna forgive you for a lot more, right?
Of course.
Like they're gonna be willing to listen to stuff that might be outside of the wheelhouse of your band because like they just understand or have come to learn that your band is just sort of expressing themselves in the way that they feel, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's sort of the way that this music, like we're not really overthinking it. Like we're not really like sitting down. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're not really like sitting down and like, oh, we should make this type of song or that type of song. It's just been like, oh, I have an idea, and then we'll like play the bass line, do it, and then it really is super organic in the way that we write it.
And like when it comes to the way that you write it, is there something that always comes first with each song, or does it always approach from different angles? Does it start off more rhythm oriented?
Yeah, Alex ADD. That's how it starts. He'll just keep playing drums.
That's your subgenre, ADHD metal.
Just talking over, just playing drums over everybody's conversation.
I hear your point, but let me tell you.
And then we'll start writing to what he's playing, and now Anthony's in the band, and he adds a whole other dynamic to it.
Yeah,
That's great.
Most of the record, this record was written before we had our vocalist Anthony.
Oh wow!
So now we're writing more towards him, like
and like he can scream and sing really well, so like, it opens it up for us to be able to like not only play like exclusively heavy stuff, we can play a little bit more melodically, and he can sing all that stuff too. So it's interesting for us.
Do you think? Do you sometimes have to like adjust your instrumentation depending on the vocal style that's being incorporated? Like if it's more clean oriented, you have to play softer, and you play harder when there's more aggressive vocals.
Kind of.
We mix it up. I mean,
the cool thing about writing together, and this is something I didn't have in my previous bands because a lot of it was more of like guitar pro bands that I've been in. But like the cool thing about writing together is that it's not necessarily that we like need to change our instrumentation. It's that it's very collaborative in the way that it comes together. So like, if we're in the middle of a chorus and I hear something like I'm like, oh, it would be cool if Will did this or if Anthony tried that, then I can just literally stop and say, hey, try this time, and then we can just do it, as opposed to like, needing that extra layer of like being in the studio or trying like. Or we're always kind of writing collaboratively, so it is really easy for us to like.
We write pretty fast.
Yeah, it's really easy to rework parts.
Cool.
Yeah, and writing really fast, it almost seems like you're able to capture a moment, right, with each song.
Yeah, like
moments.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's been a good writing process. It's been easy.
Yeah,
getting easier at least.
Yeah, we definitely write a song.
We're not writing dad riffs.
We can write a song in like an hour. And then we'll like sit on it for a few weeks, we'll marinate on it, and then we'll come back and be like, all right, like this is what was like really sticking from that, and then this is what needs to be better, and then we can kind of like rewrite some of the parts that maybe don't, I guess, resonate. Even though that's like a terrible word, but like resonate with us or like live with us for a while. We can rewrite or reorganize it. So it's cool. It is really cool to kind of be in like a rock band.
Yeah.
Are we in a rock band?
A rock band.
We're in a rock band.
Maybe you could bring
in the way that like those old rock bands would just sit in the garage and write music. Like that's kind of what we're doing.
Well, maybe you could bring back some of those dad riffs,
dude.
I mean, these guys did bring a couple of dad riffs back on this new album, but then now Anthony's throwing his vocals over it and making it
less sad,
less daddy.
More every time I die, less daddy.
Maybe you could do something
like it's actually sounding really cool. And Brian's like the happiest fucking guy in the world now because he's got his dad riffs, he's got his metal, So
yeah.
Define dad riff. Like, are you guys gonna sound like Puddle of Mud or something like that?
Oh, for sure.
Octane only.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to. Yeah. We're actually just trying to sell out to Octane.
Yeah.
Octane. I discovered some great bands.
So cool.
Lost becomes the acoustic ballad version.
Lost becomes Octane Radio.
I'm down with it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm predicting the future right now.
That'd be fun.
The world's greatest dadcore band.
Oh no! I mean,
Yeah.
you know what was funny? When we put out the first video that we ever put out, Focus, I think the first comment on Facebook was like, "Dad?" question mark, like something
Really?
like that. Yeah, when we put the video out, because so we're actually a dad rock band. We can't avoid it.
There's only 2 dads.
There's only 2 dads in the band.
Do you think, like speaking with the rhythm section of the band now, like do you need to lay down the rhythm before anything comes into play, or like do you like to have riffs already written or some sort of pattern already written before you start laying down your parts?
I think like the really cool experience for me, like of that is specifically rhythmically, because we do a lot of really interesting rhythm stuff. In terms of like the choices that are being made between bass and drums are intentional. It's not like it's not like just the bass is following the guitarist and I'm just kind of picking it up. It was like, hey, let's do this here for a reason. And it's cool to have that level of collaboration between the two of us. Like, and sometimes I'll hear something or he'll hear something and be like there's been a few times where he's written a bass part and it was literally exactly what I had in my head, and that was like really cool to like kind of
We're psychic now, too.
yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, you touched tips once. You know?
So, Star Wars.
And you probably are asking each other all the time,
We're
why are you doing this to me?
No, it's cool. It's like it is. I had a really interesting experience working with Joel Hamilton for my last band, which we talked about I think the last time I interviewed, and like it really reminded me
How is he a Jedi?
that guy is might be a Jedi.
Cool.
It just reminded me like how important it is to be a band, how important it is to like have each instrument talk to each other, right? Like there's nothing worse than when 4 people are playing different things, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe in some like grindcore bands it works, but
Yeah, I mean it in terms of like in a disharmonic way, when it's not intentionally supposed to be that way, right? Like it's depressing almost to have 4 people in the band that are just not playing together. So like it was really cool to like take that lesson into this project as well and be like, oh, let's try to make this work. And why are we doing this? Sort of like.
this should be your slogan. Lost becomes all organic metal.
Yeah, I like that. We have bullshit free right now. It's a new T-shirt we're releasing.
Bullshit free. I gotta get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. We have a couple of shows coming up. Some merch we're excited to sell actually.
Which we'll get into shortly. The final question I wanted to ask you is, being a band based out of New York, and you guys have both been in the scene for quite a while. Like, I mean, what's your take on the New York City scene now in this post-pandemic world? Do you think that New York City's going to be thriving again? I mean,
Oh yeah, 100%. We're coming back, baby.
coming back.
We're coming back.
You had a flex when you said
There's gonna be shows. There's gonna be everything's gonna be back.
I've said this a few times, and I've actually talked to a few booking friends of mine as well about it. Like, I think there's never been a better time to be a local band in the world right now than literally right now. There are so many people that are out there that are just looking for something
Everybody
to do.
just wants to go to a show.
Yeah.
Wants
And
to play a show.
there's no tours coming until September. I think September are like the first national runs that are going out.
Yeah.
Because they needed some like
Yeah.
lead time to get everything in order.
Yeah, Rise Against is coming at the end of the month. But
Yeah, and Foo Fighters kind of came through, but like
I was there.
think about the
Yeah,
number.
you were there, I saw
Think about the number of shows that would go on in any. Like, do you follow the Mosh? There's like a calendar, a Heavy New York calendar.
Yeah.
On like every day there are 4 or 5 shows in New York City.
Yeah.
There are maybe 1 right now.
Yeah.
Like you have no split draw. Everyone wants to go do something. Everyone wants to get out and see their friends again. Like, it's never been a better time than right now to be a local band in the world, in my opinion.
Definitely.
And we're really excited to capitalize on that.
Absolutely. What a great time for Lost Becomes the Start.
Yeah.
And before we go, I want to, first of all, thank you all for coming here today to do this interview.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there just anything else that you would like to plug? I know that you got the show at Amityville Music Hall with Moontooth coming soon, and
3 shows with Moontooth.
one of them sold out, right?
Amityville sold out. Connecticut. We're playing.
Revere.
We're playing.
We're
That's
playing-
in Boston.
Yeah, we're playing Sammy's Patio, and then there's another one in Connecticut. I'm blanking on it.
Space Ballroom.
Space Ballroom. That's
Space.
it.
Connecticut, and then Sammy's patio.
Yeah, and we have
Massachusetts.
some other exciting shows in the works that should be coming pretty soon. I think.
Better be here in the 5 boroughs.
Yes, there is.
There
There's
is-
one.
there's
we
one,
can't talk about
yeah.
it yet.
There's one that
It's coming.
we're close to that's going to be in the
Yeah.
5 boroughs.
You'll tell me when I turn the camera on.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm telling you right now.
I did want to plug your art
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
because without your art,
it's all over. Lost Becomes.
yeah,
Thank you. It
all
was-
of our album work and our single work is all done primarily by this
This
guy.
guy.
So it's important that we give you credit for that.
Thank you. It was an honor to do it for you. And you guys are also the easiest people I've ever worked with. I think I only had to rework something like once the entire time. So
Nice.
Yeah, if you give us something good, we're not going to have a lot of complaints about it.
thank you. But thank you guys so much. Everybody, we are here with Lost Becomes. New stuff coming very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.
Finger guns.